It's Thursday night. Running a little late, but we're gonna be very, very on point here. Thursday Night Flag Football Podcast, man. Your boy Low in the building. Got Mr. 5-Star himself. James in the building. What's up, James?
What's going on? How y'all doing? Tired. Was at a parent-teacher conference all night, doing a cooking, serving. Tired. But
Parent-teacher conference, huh?
Yeah. Out at Cross Keys High School. And then we had a fundraiser, so I had to go out.
Yeah, I saw the beans and whatnot.
Yeah,
And they bring nothing, huh?
We sold out, so I had to put me a plate to the side. So,
yeah, dog. So we got a lot to talk about, man. The flag football world week. Books. The cross rivalry, what do you call it? Cross league, cross division games. Can't wait to hear about how all that went. Into that, James. And a rapper passed away here. This one wasn't one of the guys murdering each other, to say the least. Young Scooter passed away. I guess jumping a fence. Hit a major artery and bled out.
yes.
So what's your thoughts and what led to this, James?
So at first I was scared. Very, I mean it is. And usually the first time something happens that never happened, nobody ever really believes it. It was crazy. So, the police went to the house, knocked on the door. According to the report, slammed it. Two of them ran out the back door, one being young Scooter. He jumped over two fences, and the process of jumping over the fence, I thingies, and it cut, transported him, and then he just died from the blood bleeding. So on the surface, it just seemed really, really skeptical. But as I was talking to you earlier last night, I saw that the person that made the police report has now come forth and admitted that she lied to everything, and so they've now arrested her and charged her for lying. But as you listen to the police audio, it was a full 10-minute conversation. And, she says that, all of the stuff was happening at the time. She was given very detailed descriptions of this lie, quote unquote. Having now heard the whole audio, I'm actually wondering if she was told to say that it was a lie. Because, like I said, I just let you listen to some of it. That's an awful detailed lie.
Very, very detailed.
Very detailed. Very detailed lie. Right. To the point that it was happening, the lie was allegedly being lied on while it was allegedly happening.
Right.
So now I'm wondering, did somebody tell her they will go get her? Or, has her life been threatened? So now I'd rather go to jail and be protected and take this back. It's now just even more confusing than what it was. Originally I was coming up here with the, process of that's messed up that she just made up all that stuff for no reason. But now after listening to the 911 call, I'm questioning it if, some of it had to be true. Well, some of it seemed that it should have been true. Let me say that. It's even more confusing now.
Yeah, I saw the information on the 911 call, I hadn't heard it till you just played it prior to coming on, and but it was very detailed information she was given. You know, I've heard a lot of things about the whole situation. You know, you know, my prior life, I know a lot of people still in that life, so I've heard some very specific information.
They were having Bible study and reading the Word.
Yeah. There's a particular house they call for where they're at, and Bible study. You know,
The doors to that altar are always open.
yeah, basically. So, but yeah, man, it's unfortunate. You know, I guess they panicked based on the 911 call, police approach. But the police said, you know, they really weren't going in there, but there was, and the only reason they really responded the way they did was because they said it was shooting. So, you know, they respond to shots fired.
3 shots fired.
Yeah, so that's going to be response.
A beat down of a naked woman that was being pimped out and prostituted.
But unfortunately, I'm going to assume that they weren't really good at hiding their Bibles, and so they didn't want the police to come in. You know, to join Bible study. Yeah,
communion wine.
Yeah. Communion wine, and don't forget the bread.
Yeah. You know, and it definitely does lead to wonder if there was zero truth to that call, and they had no clue of why they were coming, why run. So that just gives the impression that there could have been some
truth to it, right?
That some truth to that story, or something that was going on that made them not want to confront the police at that moment in time.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know, you know, young Scooter's background. I don't know if there's prior convictions or whatever, but you, when you run like that, you not trying to go back. You know what I mean? And but yeah, it's just a crazy way to die, though, man. You know
Strange way to die, because you at the beginning
they were ready to riot the police. They were ready.
That's what I was going to say. In the beginning, you couldn't make me believe that the police were not involved in his death. Yeah, but it's just so on his birthday. That's a crazy way to die on your birthday.
But they were. He bled out so fast that, you know, he just basically told the police he was tired. He just, because all of his, basically the blood just, you know, one of the major arteries get hit, man, you're in trouble. And if somebody's not there right then and right there to put the pressure on, and you got to literally put the pressure and kind of pull.
In the right spot.
Yeah, and you got to kind of pull that vein or whatever it is, you know, pull it and try to clamp it, basically, to stop it. And so, you know, it would take, you know, somebody putting pressure and somebody else actually holding it long enough to hope somebody get there to actually clamp it. I mean, that's how fast it happens. So, yeah, that's a terrible way. That's a terrible way, man. I you know, you don't wish it on anybody. But, you know, it's just unfortunate. Just unfortunate. So let me ask you this, man. I showed you this thing real briefly, and but this is something that's been happening so much to me, I guess. I've heard it so much more over the sex with these young students, and we know how it is, or, you know, I think everybody's heard the coaches, the male coaches, going after the young girls. That's and they're considered pedophiles, as they are. If you're a grown man and you're approaching a young 14, 15-year-old girl, that's, you know, it's disgusting that you would even be attracted to a girl that young. But what's female teachers, you know, having sex with these young I do see where teachers are I mean, you're a little younger than I am, but you know, you still came. The generations are similar. You know what I mean? Where you know, we didn't have a whole lot of young teachers.
We did. We had literally old bags and hags.
To be attracted to, man. I only know one teacher. When I lived in Fort Hood, Texas, in my third grade, was I in Fort Hood, Texas? I think I was. But anyway, I lived in Fort Hood, Texas. You know, we was military, we traveled a lot. But I had Miss Maldonado. Other than that, there was none.
I can't even think. I mean, again, you know.
That's how attractive she was. I can still remember her name, but go ahead.
Back then too, teachers. And they tend to look way older than what they really were, actually. So even if
Right.
So there was just nothing out there, you know. And if there was the one teacher that ever came through, everyone always remembered her name. So, you know, I never had, the only thing, the closest we ever had was a teacher that was called Grandma Dynamite. You know, and you know what I'm saying? Really? You ain't never heard that? You know, from the neck down, she was two from we weren't as tempted.
Correct.
But you know, people are, you know, desperate to get jobs now. You get teachers that sometimes only 4 to 5 years older than the people they're teaching.
Facts.
And remember a couple of years ago, there was a thing going around about this teacher that was wearing the skin tight body dresses that had the big behind and breasts, and you know, they were saying that was inappropriate for her to wear to school. That was the big debate. And you know,
great pictures.
I did feel like that, you know, that probably was a little bit much because of the environment you were in, and it was distracting. But
But for her, I think it was more distracting to the other teachers and the parents, because she was teaching like elementary school.
These elementary kids we got these days?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true.
They
that's
know
true.
what's going on. Listen, I hear them every day.
But a woman blessed like that, I mean, there's only so much a woman like that can do. There's only, you know, surely, I agree. She didn't have to wear the tight jeans and,
you know.
But
and the jeans would have been fine, but them dresses.
Yeah.
You know, you can see the cuts in the back of the type of panties she's wearing, you know, and these little boys these days, oh no, they knew. But so we want to make sure we you know, Christina Familia, you know, her little nasty tail. We just want to make sure that the world knows who she is. This alleged 30-year-old woman,
married.
Out of Illinois, accused of molesting the 15-year-old boy because she's good looking.
Yeah. And they gave her paid leave.
Paid leave. So we know what her ethnicity is not.
Yeah. Just imagine if it was a 30-year-old man, or even a black female. If it was the other way around,
they'd have been in jail.
They'd been in jail. Paid leave
immediately.
That's wild, ain't it, man?
Immediately.
And they gave her paid leave, man. They got all the text messages, which is crazy that these folks would still use communication. Now, you know, but what's interesting is how many is the female teacher with the young male student, and then how many and how they're getting caught. Now, you know, I don't think all the guys are telling. It's usually the parent finds out, or the kid gets to bragging about it. You know what I mean? Because it'd be hard for a 15-year-old to hold that secret in. That I'm sleeping with.
It doesn't happen. They're not holding it in.
Yeah, they're not holding it
There's
in, right?
no way, shape, or form. And I just want people to know that she did reply to the allegation, and she said that the quote was, "The sporty, dirty blonde denied having sex with the teenage student and said that he accused her of having inappropriate relations with him because she cared too much about him." Yeah. Christina.
Right. It's just a trip though how many times these stories are happening though. It's like an abundance of women. That was one not a couple of weeks ago, very similar. I mean, it's just amazing how many of these women are having sex with these little boys. It's amazing. And we ain't talking about 17, 18. We talking about 14, 15-year-old boys. You know what I mean?
Now she says that he broke into her phone and used her phone to send him inappropriate messages.
That's what she said.
Every time, himself inappropriate messages and then reply to create a chain.
The day she got arrested, she sent a text saying how much she enjoyed their morning together. It'll be easy to track where your phone was versus where his phone was at the time. So
she claimed that one day he grabbed her phone unattended, entered her passcode, and deleted the message from her phone and had saved it to his phone as blackmail. The lies that they come up with.
yeah.
The messages said she allegedly told the victim, "I love having sex with you, baby. I love it so much. It feels so good. It's so passionate. It's so intimate. It's so perfect." The boy reportedly responded, "I love you so much more, mama."
Yeah.
But of course, he broke into her phone and did all
He
of
did
that.
all that, right? That's wild, man.
White privilege.
Hey, man, at its finest. At its finest. Very interesting, man. But paid leave it's a wild moment. But I'm just like I said, I'm just amazed at how many times this thing's happening. It just
Where are those parent-teacher conferences demanding that she be fired? You know, the ones that we always see when it happens to us.
right.
Where's the outrage?
Where's the outrage? That's what it is, man. Anyway, always good to talk about stuff going on in this wild, wild world of ours. Of course, the tariffs are in effect.
It just hit me. It never amazes me at anything that happens under Agent Orange, but it's still some things that surprise me. So the $400 million contract that Elon Musk had to build the electric war vehicles or whatever. Trump tries to say that Biden authorized that. But when they go back and look at the records, Biden authorized $400,000 to do some test studies on some electric military trucks. When Trump got in, he rewrote it to $400 million. But then he went back and backdated it to try to make it look like it was Biden. But when they went back to track all the internet communications, they couldn't find anything other than the $400,000 that Biden did. So he was going to try to blame it on Biden.
Wow.
But for those of you all don't know,
Wow.
there's a thing, you can actually go Google it right now. There's a site called the Wayback Machine. You ever heard of that?
I have.
So you can go and put a person's website in and put in a particular date, and it will show you what they had on that actual date.
Yeah.
Or whatever, the Wayback Machine will have it. Just further proof that they watching. It was kind of sort of used to get Trump this time. And
I'm just disappointed they don't expose the fact that this guy, with the tariffs going on, he sat there and says, I don't know, y'all should be mad at the person who made these terrible deals. These were terrible deals. These terrible negotiations. But it was his negotiation. You're the guy.
It's him.
You negotiated that stuff, and now you talking about how bad it was. Because he tried to put everything that goes bad, he blames somebody else. Mm-hmm. Everything that goes bad, but everything's. It just be mind-boggling, man.
It remind me of those Jimmy Kimmel skits where he go out and say, "Hey, I got a question. Biden did this, did that, did that,"
I love those.
And then they go in.
I love
and
those.
He said, "Oh, I'm sorry, it was actually Trump." I'm like,
I've seen those,
literally,
man. And they'll
quick?
try to justify it just like that. Yeah.
Oh, that real stuff up on legit answers to these made up stories.
Yeah. Y'all just keep your eyes open, man. If you live in from Canada, a lot of them don't even know. I'm gonna be out of power.
That's it.
Keep playing with these folks, man.
And it hasn't. Last week at a conference, he said he lived at the bottom, and he said, and they still, and there's nothing they can do.
Nothing.
Ain't no other company.
And that dude don't care. Oh, y'all be fine. It's just be temporary. He'll tell you whatever you want to hear. Amazing. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, James, you got week 4 of season 10 in the books.
Man.
The cross rivalry game. Well, I keep saying rivalry. The cross divisional games.
Yes.
Did any of those cross divisional games stir up any old rivalries?
You know,
it was a couple
of those cross divisional games were very, very interesting. And if certain, couple of them were just literally one play away from the outcome being different. So we'll start over at McNair because, I know people gonna be upset when I say this, but based on the scores, there was really not much to see.
You see that comment, Dwayne? You still? Okay.
So let me go ahead and pull up the schedules from last week as well as the picks from last week and see how you guys fared in those departments. You guys were over at McNair, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so so the first game of the day we had this is at Harbor. I can't wait till we get to the Animal Factory scores. I'm pretty sure they probably beat some people down. So for the first game of the day we had over at McNair, we had Georgia Elite facing off against Paid in Full. Paid in Full, they have been coming in on a high note. Doing really good this season. Georgia Elite was trying to come back from a little low, but they seem to be getting their sales back on track.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a pro team, you would still expect to be able to pull it out. But this was also an opportunity for Paid in Full to steal one. But after a hard-fought battle, Georgia Elite pulled this game out 14-6. Went home with that victory. So congrats to Georgia Elite for getting themselves back on
Yeah, they start off
Once they 0-2,
on 2. Yeah, but they've
they're
they
now
put they
four
put
and they well, yeah. After that game, they were 4-3. So
putting together, putting together. Good job, Coach Smooth, keeping them guys together over there.
here we go. I just found the picks. Let me see what you guys did. I'm pretty sure if I remember, you guys all picked Georgia Elite in that game. Yeah, all you guys picked Georgia Elite, so there was no upset right there. Vegas had the Vegas had the odds on that game.
God, dog, buddy, 3 for 3 out.
They had Georgia Elite by 8, and Georgia Elite won by 8.
How about that? Vegas was on it, huh?
Vegas was on the money on that one. The next game we had TYB hosting Paid in Full, with TYB being the new team. They're still searching for their first win of the season. Paid in Full. Again, they're trying to solidify themselves and, make people know that they are for real this season. Everybody took Paid in Full in this game. Paid in Full won this game. Vegas had them by 6. Paid in Full won by 19. They won this game 19-0. One of their best offensive performances in league history. Most dominant performance, let me say that. 19-0 is a pretty dominant performance over in the comp league. Next game on the schedule was Georgia Raiders at Georgia Elite. Georgia Raiders have been struggling quite a bit. They have interesting choices at the quarterback position, say. Everyone took Georgia Elite to win this game. Georgia Raiders was trying to pull out an upset as they felt that they were actually better than Georgia Elite. Survey said Georgia Elite won this in a close one, 7-6.
And it was an overtime game.
So
yeah, we were there for that one. That was a close game.
So, Raiders, they look like they might have wanted to do something, but I still say that, and this is no knock on the person that's playing the position, but I still think they need a more established quarterback playing the quarterback position. They have one of their top wide receivers playing the quarterback position. So that also hurts them at the wide receiver position. So, but even with that loss, they are still in the hunt for the playoffs. So their next game would determine, whether their hunt come to an end or not. The next game we had was TYB and Shockwave. We're going to go ahead and expeditiously move through that 32-0 drubbing, unless there's something that you guys need to talk about.
Well, only thing I would say about TYB, outside the fact that I don't like the name, they were. I like the guys.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were. They're a young team. They just don't know how to play this particular game yet. They got a lot of learning and growing to do, knowing how to be in position. Don't let anybody come. Y'all can build with the guys you have.
Mm-hmm.
Shake you up.
Mm-hmm.
After you change your name. Hey. I mean, but I like the guys though. They weren't talking trash. They weren't doing. They weren't doing all that.
They weren't fighting each
Weren't
other,
fighting each other.
arguing.
Yeah, none of that.
You know,
None of
I
that.
saw
And I
them
like-
a
and I
few
like
times
that.
this season when I went over there, and what I did take notice of activity going
Yeah.
on. Won't no thing. First 0-10 team to return.
I hope they do.
Because it will be because they've already reached out to register for the summer season.
Good.
So I think that they did what most teams in their position should do: take this as a learning lesson, figure out what they need to do, how they need to adjust, and then come back and hopefully put a couple of wins on the board.
Y'all leave those players alone. The
Yeah.
other team, leave those players alone, man. Let them guys stay where they at. Hopefully they can add some pieces to it and just learn the game, man. But I like the guys, Jane. Those you know.
Yeah. So no one picked against Shockwave in that game, so that's not a surprise. Next game we had Raiders versus Joe World. Again, Raiders feeling like, they can make Joe World coming into this game, just feeling like they. In this game, you guys all picked Joe World. Nobody went against them, and nobody was wrong. Joe World beat this game 14-8.
And let me say, I watched this entire game.
Okay.
And I see what you're saying about the quarterback position. Mm-hmm. One thing I saw where they were, I don't know, the tall white receiver, is he not with them anymore?
No.
Now that's a missing.
So he's been gone for a long time.
Okay.
He's with New Jack, the last I heard.
Him too?
But he went before last.
They know it's only one football. Never mind. They miss him. I mean, I thought he was an integral part of their team.
He made, if I had to rank some of the all-time plays in our 10 seasons, he would definitely have one of the top 5. When they played in their championship season, and when we had it down at Warren Holder, and Ziggy laid that ball out, and Homeboy ran and stretched out to catch that touchdown and ran smack dead into the goal post and hit his head on the ground and went straight to the ground holding that ball for the touchdown.
Yeah.
That was a play.
I saw that play.
That was one hell of a play. And, I don't think they have a player of that caliber or magnitude.
They don't.
Let me say, I don't want to get beat up. Josh Stroud is a good player that can be that, but he's been injured, so right now he can't produce. Yeah. But Kevin added an extra dynamic that
I noticed that as I was watching the game, I was like,
he was actually what Sidney claimed he was to everybody else. Kevin was actually that to Georgia Raiders.
Yeah.
And they've not been the same since he's not been.
Yeah,
there.
he's definitely a missing link. The offense, there were a lot of predictable plays, especially when they getting in a tight. You knew which way they were going, and Joe World figured it out as well. Mm-hmm. And but honestly, man, it was Georgia Raiders really made they controlled the first half. They really lost the game by mistakes. Mm-hmm. They made a lot of mistakes that they really just bit themselves in the butt quite often. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of situations where Joe World didn't stop them. They stopped themselves. They made a lot of mistakes. They had a couple throwbacks. They threw it out. They threw it down. Threw it in the ground. Quarterback get the ball. He tried to throw it out. It's just a lot of mistakes they made.
But would you not say that these are all mistakes because they don't have a established quarterback? Those things probably would have been different had they had an established quarterback running it. They wouldn't have had to do so much of that.
Based on the plays they were running, but yeah, I would imagine that is the case. But I didn't see where they had a lot of deep threats. And again, they had got a safety earlier. They could have scored a touchdown. They didn't. They ended up getting a safety. They came back and scored off that next drive. But like I said, I think they made way more mistakes. honestly, that could have made it a better game. They made a lot of critical mistakes. So they weren't just blown out or nothing. They just made a lot of mistakes that cost them.
Well, but I do like that they always try to fight. They don't ever give up. They always think, have positive attitudes that they're going to come back and, do what they do. So that's always a good sign. And maybe next season, it'll get better. Yeah. But they are still, even though they lost this game, they are still in the playoff race. And we know the old saying, you just got to get in.
Just got to get in.
Just got to get in. So next, we had a much anticipated game. We've been waiting on this game all season. This game was requested by players from both sides of the fence. So we had Shockwave visiting Zoo Atlanta on Zoo Atlanta's home field. So Shockwave was going into enemy territory.
I don't think nobody from our team requested the game. We just responded. Just for the record.
I think Dwayne said he wanted to beat them. He wanted to face them too, so he could show them, what his little legs could do. What I'm saying. Because that's what
I'm saying. Two in response to the nonsense that was being taught, but seeking out Zoo Atlanta. Nobody was seeking out Zoo Atlanta.
Okay. Well, tell us about that offensive barrage of points that they put up against y'all.
That awesome offense they have.
What did you think about the offense when you saw it? What confused you? All right, don't laugh.
What I would say is, I think the offense that they attempted to use Sunday was probably more efficient than the stuff I saw last week up there. And I was like, that's the offense Sydney keeps talking about. Nobody gonna touch the quarterback. Nobody gonna touch the quarterback because all you do is catching and throwing the ball. But so what they did Sunday, I think they changed it up a little bit from what last week's film had showed. Sap said missing the OC is what I saw. Yep, that's what they were missing. They're missing the OC. But I didn't. There's not much to see here. It was their offense. They moved the ball. Like I said, they had a big play. I don't remember even what it was, but they try to run that quick spread type offense. They don't have the personnel. But Dwayne, what happened with you and Buddy, man? Did he make the impact he said he was gonna make?
Because I do remember, Dwayne, you weren't going to be able to block anybody.
Yeah.
How did that go? How many sacks did you give up?
I may have gave up a sack. I'm not even gonna say they didn't get no sack.
Okay.
They did. It was more holding the ball than anything. But they did get some sacks. They crossed the 50 once, though they started on the 35. I'll say this: Zoo Atlanta has some great players. But they play meet-up football. However they play when they playing on Saturday, that's how the game they play their offense, like meet-up football. And
that's a good assessment. Offense and defense.
Offense and defense. And in a organized league, you got to have an organized offense. So I think that was probably their problem. And then two, when the train is coming downhill, get off the tracks. Okay, all right? That's all I'm going to say. If you see somebody coming downhill, either put up or shut up. You know what I'm saying? And,
Charles says you're giving out more victories.
Nah, it wasn't no moral victory.
Don't take the high road.
Ain't no moral victories. Ain't no moral victories. I will say this: Sydney talked his players into a stupor. Okay, and yeah, big dog gonna eat. What Chocolate Dropper say? Big dog gonna get the food out the bowl.
I'm gonna be honest though, not having Sydney there took a lot of steam out of the
game. Yeah,
the destruction that we really wanted to put on them. You know what I mean?
So you didn't really want to beat. You didn't really want to.
No,
beat
I like those players. That's why I said
the guys over there were pretty cool. Nobody was. It was.
So the drubbing was basically would have been directed at Sydney.
Him.
Okay.
Yeah. It was him. Yeah. It was him. It was him. So when he wasn't there, it wasn't. It took a lot of the. There wasn't no. We couldn't even really talk trash to him. We really wasn't. You know what I mean? It was like. We wanted the guy taking out his hair. No, we wanted that guy.
We wanted that guy.
So him not being there took a lot of fun out of it. But I ain't gonna lie to you, it took a lot of fun out of it.
Yeah, but the Zoo Atlanta did play good. They should stick together. They need to get some organization. So next time y'all go, when y'all had them meet-up games at the end of the game, y'all should run through some scenarios. You know what I'm saying? Like some goal line scenarios. Some
Dwayne, we not coach. You try to coach him on the field. Stop coaching.
Yeah,
We're not
I'll
coaching.
leave him alone.
Yeah, man.
So again, nobody picked Zoo in that game. Everybody picked Shockwave. No surprise there.
That's the rumor, Billy. We heard something to that effect. What we know is he wasn't there. Hey, what we know for sure is
Belichick ran from the smoke.
Yeah.
So Shockwave took that game 12-0. Then the next game was a good pre-game matchup that we thought we would get a lot of highlights out of. LOZ at Joe World. You know, LOZ was coming in off an impressive 5-1 record. Joe World was coming in with a mediocre record. LOZ was on a high, but
Charles said he got fired on his day off. That's funny, Charles.
Oh God,
yeah, that's what it looked like, man. Go ahead.
But
Billy say start a new team at the Georgia Aquarium. Oh man, how you get kicked off the own team you put together? Hey man, there was a revolt. Hey, they stormed the Capitol on them.
maybe he just took some time off to glance and reflect on the situation.
Yeah,
maybe that's what it was. Maybe he was out of town working or something like that.
Deep though.
they're a lot player.
But LOZ, came into this game giving up the second fewest points in the entire league. So I think that they came in with the mindset that they were going to use their defense to clamp down on Joe World and then hit him with a little razzle-dazzle and, win. Joe World just came in saying, look, business as usual. This game actually went to overtime. Surprisingly and shockingly, it was tied 0-0 at the end of regulation.
Man, I'm glad I left. Me and JT left at halftime because it was 0-0. I was like, man, I wasn't expecting this game to be 0-0. They didn't score the rest of the game. Man, I'm glad I left.
Overtime 0-0.
Yeah.
I didn't know when I saw the final score. I was shocked. You guys looking at the picks, everybody took Joe World in this game. Mm. And the final score was 1-0.
Wow.
Joe World.
Wow.
That was one of the surprises. I definitely have to say that.
I would say LOZ from the first half, they definitely looked like a better team from the last time I saw them. The offense, they had some plays, they had some decent plays. First half, they could have scored in. And I think they had ended up having a turnover or something like that. But But yeah, they look like a better team for sure. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 0-0 all the way throughout though. That's interesting.
Yeah, I was surprised by that on both sides.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, LOZ did come to play. You know, they didn't just get ran through.
Wow, 1-0.
1-0.
Interesting.
The next game over there, we got another highly anticipated battle.
Okay.
A requested matchup. We had Zoo Atlanta facing Georgia Smoke, which was one of Sydney's many former teams. And much like you, there's really nothing to see there. Georgia Smoke won that game 30-0. There was nothing, absolutely nothing I could even think about talking about. Everybody picked Smoke.
So Smoke, do y'all feel the same way? Without Sydney being there, was it the same? You know what I mean? It's like, it just, I don't know if y'all feel the same way.
They put up 30 points. So I think that for them, they just wanted to punish the thought of Sydney even thinking about it would have made a difference.
I mean, we just didn't score 2 times in the red zone that we, you know, clearly just should have. It should have been way worse. Ain't no question about that. There was never a threat in that game. That was it. Yeah. We just didn't execute it in the red zone. Trying new BS that we should have did.
Digital said no, they don't.
He said no, they don't.
He said he didn't. Elaborate that, Digital. It was y'all just wanted to stomp them.
He said message was sent.
Yeah, so,
I feel you.
Like I said, I think because again, I think he was with them more recently than he was with you, right?
He played with us last season.
Huh?
He played with us last season.
Oh, so he was with them, but wasn't he with? He was with them at National.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So I think for them it was a fresher message.
I just wonder, does a guy like, do you learn anything from that, or are you so stuck in your own head that you don't even learn that? I don't know.
I mean, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I know I have my opinion, but that's a good question.
Yeah.
And then the final game of the day over at McNair was
okay. They just told me that. I didn't know that.
LOZ at Smoke, which another former player, Dom was just recently with Smoke and went back to LOZ where he came from. So I think this was more of a. Was this personal, Digital? Were you sending a message in this game? Because it seemed like LOZ, they struggled a little bit in this game. I don't think much was working for them. They couldn't get it clicking. I know I did see a highlight or two that Don posted, but then of course I also saw Gates post about him posting a highlight.
Yeah, I saw that comment.
But wasn't a lot really to see here except for the offensive juggernaut of Georgia Smoke, 32 to. What was this? Because this was another big game. 30-6. So they did allow 6 points for LOZ that they did not allow to Zoo. So I guess they didn't dislike LOZ as much. But I mean, they put up 60 points in 2 games, although it was against the comp, that's still, 60 points to 60 points.
60 points to 60 points.
So you can't take that away from them. So definitely shout out for them. For, Gio being back definitely changes the dynamic of that team.
We said that.
They definitely missed him the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, we said that.
He's come back and reestablished himself as the dominant threat at quarterback that he's always been. So, moving on over to Carver, where it seems there's always some action going on. We opened up today at Carver with $404 at Big Swamp Bucks.
Sound sound like a blowout.
The score was 32-0. So we're gonna move on to the next game.
Yeah, po fellas.
With DJ gone and Reek wasn't there for that game. Well, did he come? No, I don't think he made it for that game. Or either he came late. But either way, nothing changed. They just wasn't working for them this Sunday.
This Sunday. the last few Sundays.
Well, actually, TYB is ahead of them because of the point differential.
Oh, that's terrible.
Swamp is definitely, not it. Not. It's just not their season.
They in the swamp.
But the next game, Fly By Night, and all 8 of their people.
Hold on though. Hold on. Let me say this, Coley. You are banned from podcasts. You can come up here. You just got to sit in the back. But any other podcasts you think are going on, don't go on them. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself ever again. You can go ahead and finish, James.
They said, let's stop giving people props for things they supposed to do. Come on now. Oh, did you just say facts, Zay? But Zay, are you? Which game are you speaking on, Zay?
Put my keys on the desk. Tell them my key on the desk.
But anyway, so like I said, we had Fly By Night with their 8 people, and they lost their captain. He's resigned from the team this season, and Quan, and then their co-captain Stewie has resigned from the team this season, and so they really only had 8 people.
Wow.
And but this was an action-packed game. I wish you had that one playing in the back. Fly By Night and their 8 people came to play. We're gonna fast forward to the end of the game.
Okay.
Fly By Night was up 22-21.
Wow.
With all 8 people of Mr. Don playing both ways.
Wow.
And
wow.
if Tez goes up and makes a play on the ball at the end, because when they get down, of course 4-4 just going deep. It ain't no secret. They don't hide it. They don't disguise it. And majority of the time, they come away with it. But Tez was right there to make a play on the ball. He decided to pull the person flag versus making a play on the ball as if he was making a business decision. And game over.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. So they definitely had a chance to win that game.
Who made the play?
Who caught that pass? Dwayne, pull up that game and go to the end. Oh, you at McNair. This it? Go to the very, very end. It was a deep pass.
So what was the final score?
The final score was 29-22. That score ended the game. Yeah, they took that score and won the game. Ooh. Yeah, so, I have to definitely shout out Fly By Night for giving it their all. And, DJ, he was actually making some plays. He was threading the needle, slicing downfield. It was a good game. He was doing a lot of that, and, well, not that. Go further than that because 4-4 had the ball last. That might have been it right there. That was it right there. That was the game-winning play.
Rewind that. Looked like he was beat.
Yeah, dude. Stuff looks different in real time.
You went too far. Yeah.
Now that wasn't it because they defended
the play after that.
They defended that. That wasn't a good ball. It might have been this play right here. No, it wasn't that one. It's this one. Nope. Yes, it was.
He was trailing.
Yeah. That
But
was
had he attacked
that was
the ball.
that
He
was
didn't attack the
Yeah, he
ball.
was trailing, but he should have attacked the ball.
That was the
was
rusher's
in
fault.
He slowed down.
That was the
Yeah.
rusher's fault. The rushers missed that sack.
But
Rush missed the sack, but Ted's
Yeah, he
didn't
was
attack the
he didn't
ball.
attack the ball.
correct.
And he was in position to attack the ball.
He was beat, so now you just got to explode. But
Yeah. So,
because he was beat, he it don't know like he saw where the ball was at.
But it was definitely a good game. It was a good. I don't know what this is. Oh, I think that was the extra point.
Yeah,
No, that's a touchdown. They didn't score on that play.
Okay. But he got him down there. And
Yeah,
then
he got the
scored.
flag at like the one,
And
they
then that was
scored.
it. That's what happened. But they was in that. They were playing this. If y'all want to go back and look at a good game, this is one. There might have been one slightly better, but this was a good game to go back and watch. If you haven't watched this game, go back and watch it. Some of y'all might need to watch it to see what to do Sunday. Because I was shocked. 8 people. 8. None of your captains. No backup, no bench.
And Don going both ways.
And a 64-year-old man going both ways. And your team is up with a chance to win.
Wow.
Definitely a good game. But, again, 4-4 is a veteran team, so they go do what they need to do at the end to pull out the victory. So shout out to 4-4 for taking that victory, but definitely a good game, fly by night. Next game we had Swamp Bucks in rare form. I mean,
They lost the title.
this
Hilarious.
season they the Swamp Bucks.
Hilarious.
Again, nothing to see here. Rare form took this 22-0. But if they were going to look at anything, Quez definitely, went off on this team. He had a good game. It was half of what put him at the Player of the Week. The next game was Rare Form and Fly By Night. Once again, Fly By Night put up a good fight. They didn't lay down and roll over.
Hold on. What was Rare Form score just before the last game?
22-0.
On Swamp Bucks. Okay.
Yeah, and again, everyone has picked all the teams that were going to win, so there's really nothing to talk about. Both people picked 4-4, and then in both of these games, they picked Rare Form. However, Fly By Night definitely put up a fight. They were a little bit more tired than they were in the first game when they were fresher. But Rare Form took this game 18-0. And, between those two games,
18 is just Fly By Night.
18-7, I'm sorry, 18-7.
Wow.
But in those,
Just Fly By Night ran out of gas, huh?
they ran out of gas. But Quez had a combined, I want to say 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in those 2 games.
Wow.
So, that helped earn him Player of the Week for this week.
Okay.
But shout out to EJ because, as Gates let us know that EJ had a good show out now over there at McNair as well. So we don't want his performance to go overlooked. But Quez just did a little bit more this week. Next game, we have DOA and Outsiders. Dwayne. This is the first opposite pick. Dwayne picked DOA, who were coming in at 6-0. Angelo picked Outsiders, who were struggling at 3-3. Dwayne felt that DOA was on the right path. Billy and Angelo felt like Outsiders would use some veteran moves and skills to secure the victory. And the final results say that we can move on to the next game. It was a 24-0 beatdown.
24 to what?
24-0.
Dang.
I think
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened in that game with DOA.
Not much.
They was not the DOA we had been used to seeing. I think, maybe they were just still waking up, or whatever. So then we move on to the next game, Predators at DOA. Everyone picked Predators. Another good game. Another good game that came down to the wire. But unfortunately, one team didn't win. You know, the final score was 22-20. And you and Billy both got losses in this picking this game. DOA took this one 22-20.
Dwayne picked DOA both games?
No, Dwayne picked Predators too.
Oh, okay. You said me and Billy. I was like, wait a minute now.
No, everybody picked Predators and everybody was wrong. I guess whatever DOA was missing in the first game, they found it in this game, and they put on a good showing.
But isn't this the game that we said it could, if a pro team had to be challenged, that was the one?
This is it.
Yeah, that's what we said.
This is it. And they were challenged, and yeah. So shout out DOA. So they ended there's currently 7-1. That's the best record they've ever had since playing.
So the Predators were the first
Predators was the first
pro team to lose the comp this
team
week.
to lose the comp this series. The next game we had was Outsiders and Goon Squad. Everybody picked Outsiders. Now, I will say, I don't want people to think I'm being funny. Arnold was not there for that game. But they still put up 20 points. So, you know, Arnold don't play defense.
It's a good point.
You know, Arnold don't play defense.
Good point.
So
Good point.
You have to give that victory to, you know, the team. They put up 22. Predators put up 20.
It's a good point, Billy.
You know,
Hey, still gave up 22 points there, buddy.
you know. So, and then when you go back and look, let me just check it out real quick. 0, 6, 12, 0, 6, and 7. So those are how many points Predators had put up in each of the games. So this was their highest scoring game of the season thus far. So can we really say that it made a difference because Arnold wasn't there?
Interesting.
This was that, you know, that 20 points was the highest points they put up this season.
He said, yeah, but they also threw 2 picks. Okay.
But you put up 20 points and gave up 22. You know? And actually, I might say that this was the highest points the defense have given. Let me see. That's the most points the defense has gave up. 20, 6, 6, 6, 14, and 6. So, yeah. So they had their highest offensive output,
But
they
also gave up the most points.
They also gave up the most points. And like I say, Arnold don't play defense. So maybe DOA just really was that team this week.
Yeah. Yeah, if he gave up 2 picks, 6, that'd be different. I mean, but if it was just 2 picks, then that's still, it'd depend on where was it at. That's, you know, a whole lot you go with that, Billy. So unless they were pick 6s, I don't know if we can hold that one.
Yeah. So again, next game we had Goon Squad Outsiders. Everybody picked Outsiders. Outsiders covered that 14-0. Next game we had Patriots and Predators. Brady was back with a vengeance to see about Predators. You know, they used to play each other a lot. Brady was fired up for this game, as usual.
As usual.
Predators, again, they still were missing Arnold and a few other people. But they pulled it off. They won this one 14-8.
Who pulled it off?
Predators.
Predators pulled it off, okay.
So against what we call Patriots, an inferior team to DOA, records say they are. So to the inferior team, they put up less points. They gave up less points too, but they put up less points. So, they're still, waffling here. They're still not a bad team, but they got some work to do.
They had that third string QB in that one.
Okay, I didn't watch that. Was that you, Billy? Oh no, you know what? You're right, Billy. I remember watching that. Yeah, you're right. Was it Rico? You're right, because I think re-injured himself possibly. The backup, Terrell. And then they went to Rico. Is that what happened, Billy? Didn't Terrell get hurt? Because I remember when I was on the field, they had Rico back there. Billy said no, he was the fourth string. So everybody took Predators over Goon Squad. Next we had YB at Goon Squad. Goon Squad actually put up a little fight, but YB was just too much. 26-12. Next game we had Patriots at United. Billy took the Patriots. Angelo and Dwayne took United. United beat them 20-6. Wasn't a whole lot going on there.
Okay, United got the second win.
Huh?
Oh, that's not a comp versus. That's two comp teams.
Yeah, that's two comp teams.
Oh, okay.
And then for the game of the week, YB at United. Everybody picked YB. As exciting as that fly-by-night game was, this game was even more exciting.
That game was intense. I see.
that right?
This was intense. And another game that went down to the wire.
Yeah.
But one thing that I constantly talk to these teams about is celebrating too soon. You can't celebrate until the game is over. You can get happy, you can get excited, but it ain't over until it's over.
Correct.
With a back and forth battle all game, some emotions that got injected into this game from the start, we got a very intense battle. With about 40 seconds left, United kicks the field goal to take the lead,
Right.
to go up 9-6.
Oh wow.
And
Wait, real close game, tight game, huh?
you ain't got that game up, do you know? And they got excited. They were happy, they were celebrating.
Free celebration, huh?
They were going in. And, I told them, I said, hey, guys, listen. You still got 40 seconds left on the clock. You still got to guard man. Sometimes they say ignorance is bliss. Man walks over and said, I'm coming to win that trophy this season, James. And then went to work. And then it was 40 seconds left. United put on solid defense. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, there were a couple of penalties that were called that, in my opinion, a couple other people's opinion, a little controversial. Tacked on yards on YB, get them downfield a little bit further. And then the play, I was standing on the side with Aldo. Man went and lined up at center. I said, when man's at center, he about to do something to you on that corner. And he snapped that ball at center, went up to safety, and cut to that outside. But the safety was prepared. He ran right over there and stopped it. So they had man bracketed. But when he had to go leave and cover man, left the middle of the field wide open. And Trey found him. Strike down the middle with the defender trailing. Touchdown, game over. And so all of the talk from a few minutes ago quickly faded away. Is this the game-winning drive? What game is this?
That's the game, though.
Oh, that's the beginning, though. Go down. Now I want to see if we can go down for that. Okay, so this is before when the leads up to the kickmaster, right here. So that's about a 40-some yard kick, about a 40. And then, see, I felt like they got a little too excited. I mean, they celebrate the kick, but I just think like, the game was still left to be played. And played it for YBD.
Don't forget, refs took away a Gracias por seis before halftime in the Patriots game. Big Stepper say, let's get messy.
Oh,
Big
they
Stepper,
did?
where you been all night, Big Stepper? Big Stepper, did you identify yourself to them boys Sunday? He wanted to know who you was.
So here we go. This is Trey leading the ball. He gets the ball at the 35. He catches it, slings it out. Man, make somebody miss. Run on down the field. Now see that right there. Go back. Can you rewind that to Wayne?
You went too far back.
No, I think it was right after this. Let's see. Am I standing over here? Yeah, right here when he going out of bounds. They gave him a hold on that play.
Gave who a hold?
The defender.
Really? Whose sideline they on? That wasn't on.
No, that was it. So you see what I'm saying? When I said, I was like scratching my head. I didn't understand that call.
That's why I say whose sideline you on. 'Cause that's those calls with sidelines.
And I told him, I said, you better watch out for Man. Some people felt like Man want a threat. And then
They believe that, they don't know football. They got down that ball field quick to fit this.
you see, that was it. See, Man took him out there
Yeah.
and left that wide open. But there were 2 penalties on that drive. Now, I didn't see either one of them.
Damn hole. You gotta get off that hole.
Now, there was some holding that United didn't get called. Big hole. And, I was...
That was the last play of the game, too.
Yeah, and I was standing there with, and I was like, I couldn't understand how the other holes was called when we didn't look like a hole, but those holes weren't. This was one hole, and then this was another one where he done pulled the man's shirt off his back. and then neither one of those got called. So I was very questioning of how that hold on the sideline got called a hold. But at the end of the day,
that was SEC made, my bad.
they still had to. They still forgot about Man, and that's the one player you cannot forget about.
Wow.
So, but United definitely showed some stuff in that game.
You was
too.
fighting. Oh, I seen you. You was fighting.
So, shout out to United for playing a very, very hard-fought game that they could have come away with. But And, it was very emotional for the team afterwards, But I think that, if I'm the captain or the coach of United, I'm taking that game to show them just how, what we have the ability to do, taking it into the, comp division playoffs.
Right.
Because, as formidable as DOA have shown themselves to be, I still think that this division, United's to lose. And I think that it could possibly come down to United and DOA in the playoff, in the championship.
Don't write LOZ playing good. Don't write them off.
I'm not writing them off.
And P
LOZ
PNF
most
good
likely
too.
will have to face United in the semifinals if things go according to how you expect them to go. They may have to face each other in the semifinals. DOA week. I mean, they 7-1, big stuffer. That ain't but so weak. They 7-1.
Looked like it was a good game though, man.
And they were the only team that won a cross division matchup this year. So I can't say they were so weak.
Big Stepper United YB was the game of the week.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good game of the week.
Yeah, definitely a good game of the week.
Came down to the last play. That's good football.
So
Man.
now we come out to
Veterans team do what veteran teams do.
that's it. It's one of the reasons why Jerry Rice, Michael Irvin, Chris Carter, those people back in the day, when it came down to it, that's what they went to. Or Emmitt Smith, Jerome Bettis, them big boys. Everybody know who they bread buttered with. And if you don't realize that man is where that bread is buttered, you shouldn't be playing like Angelo said. So now, week 5, season finale.
You got the number on? You got the number on? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, is there a caller? Is there someone that may be calling?
We're going to see. Yeah, for the
Okay.
number.
So, after last week, here are our current standings. We have in the comp division,
I mean, I don't know that dude that missed a 3 all game.
we have DOA tied for the best record in the league at 7-1.
Oh, John said LOC beat United during the season. Speak on it, Big John.
They did.
Big John said, hold up now.
They did. They did.
He said they ain't concede nothing. I hear that, buddy.
I said that they would play each other in
Caller.
Yo,
Yes,
what
sir.
up, brother?
what's going on? Hey, James, stop trying to just get on folks, son, bro. Like, you just,
what?
there was one holding call, holding only 5 yards, and it was holding this for one. But 2, we had to drive at least 94 the 90 between 93 to goddamn 90 maybe y'all with under 40 seconds left. They never drove the ball on us. They got the ball. They only touchdown. They was already in the red zone because our man dropped the ball and it popped in the air and they got an interception and threw a jump ball on 3rd down. Like, stop there trying to get them some. Yeah, they're solid, nice little team, bro. But stop trying to make it seem like we needed some reps or somebody to give us some, bro. They called one holding call,
I ain't say y'all
which was
needed
5
it.
yards.
I just said that was.
I mean, the way you talking though, cause I seen a whole lot of other plays. You ain't say, man, look at that play where he caught the ball here and made all them miss, and they got all the way down here. They did it. Hey man, we drove the ball. We put that shit together. We told them niggas when they kicked the field goal that this shit went over. They didn't do nothing to threaten us. They a good team. Don't get me wrong. I like that team. They pretty solid, but they didn't do nothing to threaten us. Like, they went driving on us and just stopping us, this and that. We were stopping ourselves. You know what I mean? We do that a lot of times. We play musical chairs at quarterback, so both of them ain't really in the rhythm. And you know what I mean? Like it was a cool little game, but
It was a good game.
let's not do that. Let's not do that, bro. You know what I mean? Like
I did not.
we
say
showed
that
you at
y'all
the end.
struggled. I said it was a good game. It came.
No, but you making it seem like, oh, questionable calls and shit. Out of all the games that went on Sunday, you can say that in every game.
I did that.
But you can say that in every game that went on. You know what I mean? It's like you waited to this game to say, now let me just say, you know, it was questionable. There was no questionable call. The man held him. He ain't pulled the flag. He held him. And again, holding 5 yards. What about the other 85 yards we had to go? So we started behind the 20 on the kickoff. You ain't say that. You ain't show that.
We
started behind the 20.
We showed your whole game-winning drive. We showed the whole drive. And I definitely said that I told them that they celebrated too early and they had to watch out for man-man. And if you can go back,
they had to watch out. They had to watch out. First off, that was wrong. They had to watch out for YB. We ain't no one-player team, so they ain't have to watch out for
you was a one-player team. But again, I told them they had to watch out for man-man. And then immediately after I told them that, you can ask, I went over to man-man. I said, okay, man-man, this your time. What you about to do? He said, I'm about to show them who I am. And he did. So I wasn't taking anything away from YB on that. All I did was, as a commentator, hyped up the game. That's what my job is. Nobody wants you to say, oh, YB won 13-9 this game. It's a show. It's a show. Nobody should be taking anything that happens.
But they straight though. Man, ain't nobody taking that personal, man. I can challenge what you saying. You sound like you take, man. They're a straight little team, man. You feel me? They all right, man. I like them. They pretty cool, man.
So
what's up, Lo? Hey, Lo.
What up, brother?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Everything good with you, man?
Yeah, everything smooth.
Nah, it looked like it was a good game, man. Were y'all surprised that the game was close, or was it just a matter of y'all just kind of just working through? Like, what did you see about the overall game, though?
I mean, it was one of them games where you could tell, you know what I'm saying, they were really hyped up for it and really into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they first drive, we got an interception. And if you look at the, you know what I'm saying, game, my first drive, Tony, well, TJ, he wasn't supposed to release. He ain't know. So he ended up releasing. He got in Tony's way, but Tony was wide open. He probably would have scored easily, but he threw the ball and it hit TJ in the face, and the ball popped up in the air. And so they was already inside when they got the ball, but we got a big sack on third down, and then they threw it up to their best player. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, good, bro, nice. You know what I mean? He made a play. You know what I mean? Right. So, but after that, they ain't, you know what I'm saying? But nah, it was a cool game, but we ain't never feel like we were finna lose though. Like I say, even when they kicked the field goal, we added real how much time left. We told them shit on their playing time. Like, you know what I mean? They solid though. I fought with them. I like them.
As I said, as I told him, I said, veteran teams do what veteran teams do, man. There's still time on the clock. Shoot, we still got a game. Mm-hmm. That's good stuff, man.
Oh yeah. But yeah, they straight though. There should be a good playoffs over there with them. I still think DOA gonna win it all though, but they straight though. But shit, that's all I wanted, man. Y'all boys rock out.
All right, man. Yeah, you got some folks addressing you on here too, boy. You see these comments?
Nah, I can't see no comment. Who saying something?
Orlando said, man, Mont was holding on for dear life on that last play. Orlando said 2 holding calls in the second half.
Big stepper.
Daggone.
Oh. Big Stepper, man, he just wanted to troll. He came up to me Sunday, man. I know.
Oh, really?
He just wanted to troll. Yeah, he just wanted to troll.
I got you.
He cool. Orlando, he wanted me to hold him, but he know what's happening. He know what's happening. I want to say that might have been my only the whole drive. He ain't get close to the quarterback when I went to guard. He talking about at the end when we threw the last touchdown or blocking him in the inside. Then I let my hands go once the ball was gone, and I guess he was mad because I went blocking him. I don't know, bro, what that man talking about. Somebody got to hold him, but I mean, if he said it was holding, then I guess, bro, like I don't know. It might have been. It was holding. He can say it was holding.
Orlando say, please put them on the schedule next season. That holding won't work.
Man.
Well, hopefully United win comp division and come on down. And then I'm sure James would oblige you.
Please do, man.
All right, man. We appreciate you calling in, bro.
All right, y'all.
Hold it down, man.
Rich fella low. We realize that now. We realize that now, sir. Want somebody beeping in? I think somebody was trying to call in while Mont was on the phone. Call back if you still want to talk. So as I was saying, so the current standings as currently. We have DOA at 7-1, United second at 6-2, LOZ third at 5-3, Paid in Full number 4 at 4-4, tied with Patriots at 5th, who's 4-4, holding on tightly for dear life into the 6th and final spot is Georgia Raiders at 3-5, but they're also tied with Fly By Night at number 7 at 3-5. Number 8, we have Goon Squad tied with the Animal People at 2-6 for 9. In the 10th spot, we have TYB at 0-8, and they're 0-8 with a negative 103 point differential. And holding down the last and most prestigious spot is the Big Swamp Bucks, who's also at 0-8 but have a negative 136 point differential.
Good gracious.
So going over to the pro division, we have in first place at 7-1, YB4L. Second place, we have Shockwave at 6-2 and 7-4. I mean,
who did YB lose to? You remember?
I want to say they lost week 1 against, was it Predators? YB lost week 1 against, I got it right here. Let me put it all up. I thought it was Predators, or was it y'all?
They beat us. They beat us.
YB, here we go. They beat Georgia Elite.
I said Tender Young Barbies
No,
winning the comp. Sap said with Joe World.
Joe World?
That was Sap just said, Joe World.
Okay. Oh, yeah, he on Joe World. He know, so. Okay, so Joe World. All right. And then in third
Big
place.
Stepper, they probably play him the last week of the season. Everybody does play everybody. Except for New Jack.
And third, because they play, is New Jack at 3-1. In fourth place, we have Outsiders at 5-3, tied with Georgia Smoke at 5-3, tied with Joe World at 5-3. So there's a 3-way tie for 4, 5, and 6, and the point differentials puts Outsider ahead with plus 57. Smoke has plus 53. And Joe World is plus 4. Sneaking back into that last and final playoff spot is 404 at 4-4. But there's also a 3-way tie with Predators at 4-4 and Georgia Elite at 4-4. Outsiders holds the current point differential margin with plus 52. Predators are negative 17, and Georgia Elite are negative 33. And holding down the last and final spot in the Pro Division is Rare Form at 3-5. But this is interesting, Angelo.
What's that?
Even at 3-5, Rare Form is still alive.
How about
Every team in
I'm
the
still alive.
Pro Division
Still alive.
has an opportunity to be in the playoffs. Although we know only 6 will be in there, but every team has a chance to be. Now, of course, YB and Shockwave have clinched. There's no possible way you could lose out the playoffs. So you definitely clinched a spot. Where
old guys, boy, I tell you.
where at, we don't know. But, because YB could go to number 2, you could go to number 1. But if YB wins one game, they have locked in the number 1 seed.
Right.
If they lose a game and you win both, then you'll be the number 1 seed. Outside of Smoke and Joe World, if they win both of their games, then they're all in. If they lose one, it'll be interesting because it's possible to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-way tie.
That's funny because we said over under was gonna probably be 6, but then somebody said 5-5 might slip in because of the competition, and that's what it looked like. 5 it was a very
5-5 is possible.
5-5 is possible.
5-5 is possible. And so let's look at the matchups.
Let's look at the matchup.
So look at these matchups and get these picks in. We'll start at
God, dog, he said 470 not making it. You can sell the team for $1. But big stuff will be going on.
So over at McNair, we have, you got that game up for us, Dwayne. So we're gonna open up the day McNair with Patriots and Paid in Full.
Yeah, at 8:00.
Patriots and Paid in Full are tied at 4-4,
I'm going Patriots.
and they both play one another.
I'll go with Paid in Full.
All right, there it is.
Okay. Dwayne has took Paid in Full. Angelo has took the Patriots. Okay.
Billy said PNF.
Billy that paid F. Yeah.
Sap got
Got Patriots.
And you say Billy got P and F.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next we have Swamp Bucks at Patriots.
I'm going Patriots. Patriots about to secure their playoffs.
Yeah, Patriots.
Is Billy going with Swamp Bucks for the split?
Yeah. Yeah, Billy. Yeah, he got the Patriots. Sap got the Patriots.
The next game we have, this will be an interesting game. because based on the standings, they need this game to try to overtake to get into the playoffs. Fly by Night and P&F. If Fly by Night wins this game, it'll be looking real good for them to make the playoffs by going 2-0.
I get the first one on this one, Dwayne. Who you got?
If Fly by Night loses this game, they can still make the playoffs with 2 losses by the Raiders later in the day. So Dwayne is going to pick.
Man, Ted's my guy.
Fly by Night is
but
Billy got Fly by Night. Sap got paid in full. Big Stepper said gonna be a tie.
shit, wow. Nah, I got I just picked P&F, so I'm gonna go with Fly by Night just to go opposite. I think they both good teams, man. Both up and coming teams.
You going Fly by Night?
Yeah. Well, shit, they might not have enough players. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with them, man. Come on, Tez.
I'm gonna go paid in full.
All right.
Might be on the second time I ever picked them.
Lowe's going paid in full. Okay. So the next the next game is Fly by Night on a back-to-back game with 8 people against Swamp Bucks.
Fly by Night.
Fly by Night.
Billy is going.
Have you ever had 2 0-10 teams before?
This would be a this would be a first. This would be a first.
God damn. That's bad.
But do they play each other? Let's see. No, they don't.
No, I can't. You already named off 2 games for them.
You're right. They don't play each other, so. All
Call
right.
that in college the toilet bowl.
What did Billy pick?
Billy got Fly by Night. Yeah, everybody got Fly by Night on that one.
All right. Next game. Goon Squad and LOZ. Goon Squad needs this game to make the playoff. LOZ needs this game to try to possibly move back up into the number 2 spot.
I got LOZ.
LOZ is the home team.
Yeah, I got LOZ as well. That's what we used to call it, man. Billy Sap got LOZ.
All right, next game on the schedule, we have.
Well, everybody rolling with you, John. Well, y'all better do something, man. Don't let us down.
We have well, you know, Angelo, this might be a chance for a win and prevent 2 0-10 teams.
Who you got?
Or this could seal the deal. We have TYB at Goon Squad.
Still going Goon Squad. And I like y'all guys. I just don't like your name, but I like y'all guys. Y'all all right. But I think Goon Squad still, more experienced team. They'll get them.
I normally don't do this.
What?
But damn, because how many did they have out there last week?
Sap picked TYB.
That's what I was going to say. How many didn't they have like 12 out there last time?
They had more than 12. They had about 14, 15.
All right, hey, man. I gave you guys a little piece of advice. If y'all take that piece of advice, y'all can win. So I'm going to go with TYB.
Okay. We got their first pick this season.
Yeah.
Big Stepper say TYB first win. Big Stepper even picked them. What?
I ain't thinking, but yeah, they're not bad, and their quarterback is super fast. I ain't going.
Yeah, he quick.
He fast.
Yeah, you should know.
I should know. Okay,
I'm going with T-Ball.
I should know. Do not run directly at him. Run at an angle. Okay.
Who
You
Billy
hear
got?
me?
Billy got goon squad.
Run at an angle, my guy. Okay, that's just my only advice. Somebody gave it to me after he ran away from me 3 times, so it makes sense.
All right. The next game, we got LOZ at Georgia Raiders. Georgia Raiders need this win to stay in the playoff hunt.
Okay,
That's gonna be a good game.
that's gonna be a very good
That's
game.
gonna be a good game. Based on what I saw on both teams, that's gonna be a
Yeah,
good game.
and Georgia Raiders need this game too. So
They need it bad.
Jay, Rodney, Ziggy, man, don't let me down, man. Y'all look good last week, man. Even in 2 losses, y'all look very, very good. Both losses came down to the last play because Georgia Raiders could have actually scored on Joe World. And, you know, I might have thought that they did score, but they called him out of bounds at the goal line. So I'm going to go Raiders, man. I think Raiders played very, very well last week, man, and they
not
just
bad. Not
they got to
bad.
put it together, man. And I think they getting close. I contrary to your belief, James, I think the dude that they got at the head is at the right place. If they run their game plan right, because when they game plan in the first half against Joe World was immaculate. It was immaculate. They had a couple of plays they didn't execute because they got the ball, they drove right down the field, and then they stalled in the goal line. I mean, inside the 20. You know what I'm saying? And then that's how Joe World was able to. Matter of fact, they threw a pick. They threw a pick like right on
flag. That was flag guarding by diving, Dwayne. That was Sapp said.
Oh, he definitely didn't dive. He definitely didn't dive. He definitely did not dive. He stuck the ball out, and as he stuck the ball out, it looked like he dived, but he stuck the ball out to try to score and dip. He was dipping. He wasn't diving. He wouldn't die. And he was a problem. If Georgia Raiders get him the ball, he was a problem. He caught their one touchdown. Little dude. Yeah. He caught their touchdown.
Yeah.
And let me say this. I also believe that on that play, they shouldn't have ran him. They ran him like in an orbit motion like a running back, and they threw him a swing pass. They should have threw him a damn slant he caught for the touchdown. They were so close, they should have just threw the slant. I mean, and threw it to him because he was balling.
Billy got LOZ. Sarah got the Raiders. Who'd you pick?
I picked Raiders. I picked Raiders.
Man, that's a tough one. Because that game go either way, man. That's a tough one. I'm gonna go LOZ, Joe. That game go either way though. That's gonna be that's gonna be a really good game.
Correct.
Okay. Next game we got DOA and TYB.
DOA. But yeah.
Like United Flag Football said, go ahead and shake hands. Don't need to get all sweaty. 0-10, nothing to be ashamed of. Let's go wrap it up. That was said they win one game. He'll buy them next season uniforms.
Oh, that's
Big-
what. Wait a minute. I forgot. I skipped over that.
Don't make that.
Didn't you guys win some uniforms this week?
Yeah, and I need my 101, Sydney. Bring my 101. Man.
Sydney's gone radio silent. But,
So that means so I saw you have 27 players registered. So you get 27 uniforms?
27, yes, Sydney. You try to say we had 10.
you only got
you
10
were wrong.
players. Yeah, really.
No, there are
We
27
have 27 people on the
registered.
roster, and we will send you that roster with names and jersey sizes and numbers. We are
we got
organizing now.
Yeah,
okay?
Putting it together.
Putting it
Big
together
Sid.
for you.
Okay, I can't wait to see what they look like. So next game we got what would we at?
We did DOA. Everybody picked DOA.
I think everybody picked it. I just went along. So next game we got Georgia Raiders visiting United.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh,
Georgia
man.
Raiders really
Are you ready? I mean, it's but really?
yeah. I mean,
The Raiders
the
looked
Raiders are
good
still
last
they're decent.
week,
They're a
man.
good team. I don't think they're gonna.
No, they're not. They definitely are a decent team. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think. And they're not gonna be intimidated by anybody. I think that's a good game. I mean, I'm pick United, but I think.
Oh, okay.
But I don't. I think it'll be a really good game.
Okay. Yeah, I do too, but I thought you were about to go something different.
No.
I gotta know where my record stands before I
Billy
pick this
got
game.
United.
'Cause
Sap got the U.
I really want to know where I'm at because I don't mind picking the Raiders if I need the game to game, but yeah, I'm gonna go. Fuck it, I'm going Raiders. Let's go, Jay and Rodney.
There you go.
Two
Dwayne
games.
got you
I'm going
Dwayne got you
2-0 this
2-0.
week, man.
Fighting your way back into the playoff
I
race.
seen
I mean,
it,
if they
man.
go
I
to-
seen it, man.
So if they go 2-0,
And this is no shade to y'all,
and
United. I
Fly
think
by
y'all
Night
are.
go 2-0,
I think y'all are a great
as long
team,
as
United.
Fly by Night doesn't
But
outscore,
they need some motivation. They need some motivation.
their opponents by a combined 39, 40 points. Georgia Raiders was
It ain't gonna happen. You would say like 18, 15, 40. That ain't gonna happen.
So the next game, DOA is hosting Zoo.
Well,
Big Zoo.
well.
Hey, we ain't seen no Big Zoo on the page all night. Y'all notice that?
Yeah, we ain't.
Every week we done had Zoo.
Well, you know what?
We ain't seen Zoo all night. Man, I just realized that.
Sap put it up there earlier, but I think he was trolling.
Yeah.
Sydney might be back this week.
We ain't seen Zoo all night though. Every week we done had Big Zoo on here. We ain't seen it all night long, man.
I think it's safe to say everybody's going DOA.
Pretty safe.
Put my hair on it. Nah, man, I can't go bald, buddy.
And the last
He said
game
put your hair on it.
Yeah.
at McNair
When I start going bald, I'm getting the man unit, Orlando. Don't even worry
is
about it.
United at Zoo.
United.
By a lot.
Yeah.
Is Billy going Zoo?
He said the zoo closed.
That damn zoo closed. Damn.
Yeah, Billy got United.
All right.
Please touch museum.
Damn.
Y'all rough, boy. Man, Zoo been quiet all night, man. We ain't seen nobody zoo it up all night long. Sal talk about Zoo.
Yeah,
You gonna be a stand? You gonna stand
there.
in for him, Sal? Oh man.
We having a freak off at the zoo this
Had
weekend.
a freak off at the zoo. God, dog.
All right. Moving on over to Carver, where again, the playoff scenarios are just crazy. Every team is still alive. Yeah. So we'll open up. And since every single team is alive,
Free admission before 5.
we can open up with an elimination game.
All right.
The first game of the day is an elimination game. The loser will be preparing for the summer,
Interesting.
while the winner still has hope.
Must
It's
be
not
a rare,
guaranteed, but it's still hope.
must be a rare form game.
The first game of the day is Rare Form hosting Georgia Elite.
Baby oil. That's crazy.
That's gonna actually be a good game, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good game.
Dwayne, we'll start with you.
You know, normally, like I said, I don't know how many games I'm behind. I like both teams. Is Montel gonna be there that early?
That's the question, right?
That's really the question. So because of that, and I know the Rare Form is gonna show up. I know Caleb and them boys gonna show up, and Chris, I know you're gonna show up. Chris, Caleb,
God, dog, Draymond.
flop. Yeah, I got Rare Form. Only because I don't think Montel's gonna show up that early.
You're right, United Flag Football. Week 5 Pro is 5. It's definitely this is pre-playoff week. That's facts.
And again, I
He
had
said
no
Luther
clue.
ain't gonna be the flag football transfer portal.
You say you took rare form. Who will be in the transfer portal?
But I really think that, like I said, with Montel.
The only reason Montel doesn't show up is when he's reffing.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
it's not because he doesn't come; it's because he refs. So that's when he's missed the games, not just because he was salty or didn't want to show up. It's because
Well, then, yeah. I'm gonna go red for him.
Okay.
I'm going GE. But I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a good game.
Why y'all getting up, man? That was a flop.
That wasn't no flop. He daggone chopped the man, bro. What you talking about?
He hit the ball.
Hey.
They're gonna show this. This is not.
you got?
This is not a flagrant.
Billy
This
got
is
rare
not a
form.
flagrant.
Okay.
Now y'all pandering.
Is that
He hit the
because
ball
Billy
first.
needs that game? So the next game, we have outsiders in rare form.
Whew. I'm gonna go with outsiders.
Yeah, I got outsiders too.
Though rare form can win it with that rush.
Billy?
I'm just going outside. Outside seem to have gotten hot here second half of the season, so if they stay clicking, they should. But I don't put nothing past rare form. Rare form gonna keep the game competitive.
Billy took outsiders. Sap took rare form. Okay.
Okay, Sap.
The next game is Joe World at Georgia Elite.
Joe World.
This is an interesting game because
It can go either way.
Joe World has been up and down. But so has Georgia Elite.
That dude is too tall, too big.
And you
going
say
up
you
there
taking
soft
Joe
like
World
that.
away?
Yeah. Championship pedigree. Let's
Okay.
go.
Joe World and Georgia Elite.
Georgia Elite is fighting for their playoff. If Georgia Elite win both games, they put themselves in prime position to make it. They just cannot afford to have a three-way tie. Unless that tie is between between Georgia Smoke and 404, because they've beaten both of those teams.
Billy got Joe World. I'm gonna take Joe World. I think it'll be another good game though. They go either way.
The next game which will be Georgia Smoke at 404.
Ooh.
This was the runner-up for the game of the week. But there was one other game that we put in that spot. So this will probably be the national televised 1 o'clock game. But you know that 4 is the game of the week.
Yeah, it's gonna be
So this is where you got to put your thinking caps on. I think Smoke is trying to send a message. But I think 404 is also trying to send a message that don't even be throwing no dirt on us. You can keep them flowers. We ain't ready to die.
Ooh.
But I think Smoke's trying to bury him. So
I'm gonna go 4-4.
Wow.
I'm gonna go 4-4.
Wow. Man, you know what?
Sap got Smoke. Stepper 4-4. Say Smoke ain't got enough. No. Billy, talk about what time is the game?
it's an afternoon game, Billy. It's 135 game.
That's gonna be a good one though.
It is.
That's gonna be a good one.
Austin Reed. They try to take my boy out, man. Try to take the deal out.
What you got, Dwayne? What you got?
Billy got smoked.
Man. I'm gonna go against the grain. Cause I think them boys want to get in the playoffs, so I'm gonna go 4-4. I'm gonna go 4-4.
Okay. And the next game is Predators at Shockwave. I think I know how everybody's voting here.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be easy pick. Only one got asked for Sap. What you got, Sap? Big Steppers say, psych, FOH, big smoke over them babies. Dang, he called them boys babies.
Next we got the game of the week. This game is a must win for one team to keep their playoff hopes alive. For another team, they're just fighting for the number one seed. We got 4-4 at YB.
Ooh, wee.
Interesting.
Interesting.
And you know, when I was looking at some of these games, I was like, not to say that anybody would do this, but you know, sometimes they're like, we're in the playoffs, we don't really care. But is this a team you want to let in the playoffs when you can put them out? And then they get hot. And then you regret you did not put your foot on the gas.
He said Predators easily. Wow.
Who said that, Billy?
Big Stepper say Predators easily.
Oh.
Okay. Billy got YB. Sap got YB.
Billy needs YB. He doesn't have YB. He needs YB. Because if 4-4 continues to win, Predators can't get in.
So it means something to him, huh?
So yeah, Billy need YB, not got him. Not to say that he couldn't necessarily pick YB, but he's definitely motivated to pick them in this game.
He said both. I'm going YB.
Oh, this one of your games.
Big Stepper say 4-4 ain't been good since you grew that beard, James. Cut it.
Wow.
Tough
one,
said
man.
I took some of Barlow Powell and grew my beard.
That's funny. Now, why would they put Luka on Steph anyway?
Dwayne?
Man,
That's too easy.
I really, I mean, YB playing lights out, man.
They are.
They playing lights out. Lowe just stole my pick, so
You were going too long.
yeah, man. I'm gonna go the opposite, man, just because I think I'm behind in games.
You got 4-4.
Yeah, but I think YB gonna win it. To be honest with you, because
This actually they weekend though. This 4-4 weekend.
oh yeah, it is
It's
4-4
4-4 weekend,
tomorrow.
ain't it?
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
So the next game we got New Jack at Predators.
Ooh, we just slapped that junk out of here.
Billy, if y'all can't beat them without KT and OC, man, it's gonna be a
You
It's
know,
gonna be
Miko,
tough.
you know, Miko gonna enjoy playing against the Predators.
yeah.
Hey, I'm sure he's gonna enjoy that. I got New Jack.
I'm not
Man,
sure that
I don't
Nico
even know
will be
New Jack.
here.
I don't
Oh,
even
really?
know if New Jack gonna
I
be
didn't
there.
know
Yeah.
he like talking trash against them.
Yeah, I don't even know if New Jack gonna play.
They are playing. Just don't know.
We can't wait till you reveal yourself either, Stepper. Billy got Predators, of course. Sap got Jackers.
I mean, Phil, you gotta let me know who y'all got playing this weekend. Man.
You ain't got time to wait. Come on, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Can't phone a friend.
Billy, is Arnold gonna be there?
Hey, gone 3 of 11, Luca.
Yeah, Arnold will be there.
Yeah, that's why I said Weekend Warriors and Worlds is this weekend. That's why I said I don't know how much New Jack gonna be there.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna pick Predators, man. Just cause. Flip, man, you ain't said nothing all night. Y'all gonna be there? Y'all gonna
Yeah,
play?
who gon-
Cause
yeah,
y'all
who gon-
forfeited the game on purpose this year already. So
But you know, after further review, that forfeit was because of a new person and not a regular captain.
Flip said it don't matter who show up.
shit, I got New Jack. Appreciate that, Flip.
So you switching your pick? You going?
I'm
to
switching my pick. Flip my dog. Whatever Flip say, go. We going with the Jackers.
And then the final game of the season is the YB at New Jack. Which now,
Yeah, I love you, Flip, but I ain't picking against the number 1 team, man.
not what I was hoping it would be, but
yeah. Knowing that they ain't gonna have,
yeah.
they had the full squad, it'd be a different way.
Not to say that they not go put up a fight, but so I think everybody's gonna go
YB
with
number 1 for a reason, man.
y'all all going with YB on this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
YB number 1 for a reason.
He said don't matter who show up, but we showing up. Billy got YB, Sap got Jackers.
Okay, so all right, well, again, this is a very, very interesting week.
You're right though. It should matter. Shoot, they doggone with all the players you said added. Shoot, they should be pretty deep, right? They giving all the guys a chance to get
Because I know some of them are
acclimated to the
not
system.
going to North Carolina.
That's why I said they letting all the other guys get acclimated to the system. I guess while they out.
Yeah.
Big Stepper say Jackers. Why we ain't play nobody?
Wow.
So that will be. This is going to be again a great finish to the 10th season anniversary. I think there's some really, really, really great games that are going to take place this weekend.
You missed one though, because Billy didn't get a chance against.
I picked who he was. I already knew who he was going to pick.
In our game?
Yeah, he was
What-
picking them.
No, Joe World game. I'm gonna play Joe World. I
Uh,
ain't hear you call Joe World. I want to hear Billy pick on that one.
on that game, I have.
Flip say our name is our name. Yeah, Jackers. That's funny, Flip. That's funny. How about that?
On the, you say Shockwave and Predators game or Shockwave?
Joe World. You didn't call Joe World game.
What did I miss?
That is the only one you missed.
2,
Oh, Billy got Shockwave.
6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think
Joe World by
Sure.
20?
I might have missed 2.
Oh, man. By 20, huh? Imagine that. I don't know how long you been around, brother, but you ain't seen that. you ain't seen that. You haven't seen it.
Interesting. Hold on, what I got? Georgia League, Real Form and Outsiders, Joe Wood, Georgia League, Outsiders and Smoke. Oh, I ain't called that one either.
Smoke over outsiders. We missed that one?
Yeah. Outsiders and smoke.
Oh, man, we missed that game? Outsiders, Georgia Smoke. Dwayne, let you go first.
Georgia Smoke.
Dwayne got smoke.
And the other one was Shockwave and Joe World. Okay.
Sap got smoke. Billy got smoke over outsiders.
So everybody took smoke over outsiders? You took smoke as well, Dwayne?
Yeah. Somebody told me they was gonna be top 15 this week, so
Yep, I heard that too.
All right, and then the Joe World and Shockwave. Billy, who you pick?
Shotway.
Okay, so everybody picked Shockwave. Okay. All right. Yeah, so leave it all on the field on Sunday, because for some of y'all, it might back me them on Sunday.
Switch mine. I'm going outside for the upset. Just because everybody went the other way. I'm going outside for the upset. Shake things up.
Over smoke?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Well, we know you're picking that one, Sap.
Bro, who is
He
the
said
winner?
outside, not even good. Hey, they gonna get a chance to show it this weekend. They been winning. What, they 5-3, ain't they?
Who?
Outsiders.
Yes. And yeah, a lot of games matter. Nobody can't leave anything up for interesting. So that's what we got. And then of course everybody, the playoffs is going to be the very next week. So we'll move straight into the playoffs on the 13th. I tried to have a little bit of fun the other day when I expanded the playoffs to 8 teams, but we'll quickly put that idea to bed. So I'm still working on trying to secure a field so that we can have
Oh, yeah,
playoffs
Flip. That's right. Y'all did get one of them on the forfeit.
both at the same location. And then
So what was the final? Have you made a decision on that yet
what?
for the playoffs?
What we waiting on to get back? We waiting on answers.
Oh, okay.
To hear back if there's space available. Nothing in the city of Atlanta. So when you go outside of Atlanta, other schools have longer policies and wait times. So as soon as I know, I'll put it out. And then, of course, the award ceremony this year is going to be on Saturday, April the 26th. We will be having a day party this year. So we'll have a day party. It'll be at the Hudson on Moreland. They have that inside-outside bar, so it'll be from 3 to 6. The first couple hours will be the party, have a DJ and, some stuff out there. And then the award ceremony will go into the afterwards. This season, because of production and your Agent Orange, the rings and all the stuff will be given out at the actual award ceremony. We won't have them at the fields. So we'll have your championship trophy for you. But the rest of the stuff will be presented at the day party. The day party.
Can't do that, Billy, man. Fulton already made plans, boy. Fulton took off everything, man. You know what I mean? That's a good part about knowing your playoffs are early. He said, do it at a later date. Nah.
Listen, I know what Billy talking about.
Oh, I do too. I do too. Can't do it.
But again, you know, when me putting it out in February, I try my best to give everybody enough chance to plan for everything. So, you know, that first week is crucial. Showing up to that captain's meeting, let me know, because once I put it out, then I give it to the schools, and then they plan accordingly. So it isn't always available to just push back things because of other commitments that they have booked outside of us. And that check better be Sunday too. Yeah, the prize money is always gonna be delivered on. That'll be there. The check will be there, and it'll be good. So you'll be able to cash it immediately. What else? What else we got? We got I think I sent it to you, Dwayne. Due to lots and lots of requests, we have our annual draft tournament that's back this year. That'll be going May 17th. If you haven't seen a draft tournament, it's really fun to watch if you just ain't got nothing to do. So, or if you want to play, it's a co-ed 7-on-7. It's really just a fun tournament. It's all about fun. It's been really fun in past. So registration for that is open. Definitely, anybody can play in that, pro or comp, male or female. Then of course, we have Brawl for It All in July July 25th through the 27th. But we also launched and put out our Bayou Brawl, which will be Labor Day weekend in New Orleans. It is happening, just as long as you guys sign up. We've already secured the fields. We secured them back in November, so we have the fields already set. We have to have 2 hotels with space reserved for people that are looking to book a hotel as well. So you can just DM me, and registration for that will be open next week. Try to have it open by Monday for both Brawl and the Bayou Brawl. I'm excited about New Orleans. It'll be our first out-of-state tournament. We do have teams already outside of Atlanta that's looking to come in all the different divisions. So definitely.
That'd be fun. That'd be a good experience.
And then Monday will be a holiday, so you'll have a chance to enjoy your wins, whoever you are. But you also have to drink away your losses, either way, or go gamble them away and win your money back. But and we also working on a event for that Friday night leading into the tournament. Since we're in such a festive city, we want to have a welcoming event, so we're working on that as well. So definitely, you guys come on and get prepared to come down to New Orleans.
The field location's on the flyer.
The field location is at the bottom of the flyer.
Okay.
It's called the ATL Playground. It was just built. We would have had it when we booked it last year. We were the first people to get it, but they didn't complete. They didn't complete it until like 2.5 weeks before the date the tournament was supposed to happen. So that wasn't enough time to secure anything. But it'll only be a year old. This will be their 1-year anniversary. So definitely come out for that. And
Philip said New Jack is there. And he also asked about Mud Creek for the playoffs.
Mud Creek for the playoffs is on the table. We're just waiting to hear back from them. So we've reached out to Mud Creek, to Franklin Gateway, to Ellenwood, and Wade Walker. Those are I did not reach out to Warren Holden because I just didn't. I don't know if people want it, but it is an option because wherever we go, we won't be playing at 8:00 in the morning. Probably wouldn't have to play at 9 either. But we're just checking. We're just waiting to see. So. But Well, I guess I'll say it now. Well, no, I'll just wait and see because I don't want to give people false hope. But if we get it all at one part, there's going to be a slight change to the playoff format. But you'll know that once we get it. So, what's the brawl ring look like? I haven't designed it yet. I don't know. Well, which brawl, Sap? The Bayou or the Brawl for it All? Big Seth will say, "Sap, you thinking ahead because you know y'all not gonna win the league, so you looking for the brawl ring." So we got a lot going on. Also, fellas, if you got any young ladies that are high school age daughters that are interested in, playing flag football, we will be hosting a flag football camp at the Mercedes-Benz Home Depot backyard in June. We should have that information out sometime this week. Next week. Just waiting on FIFA to drop their schedule so we can work around them. But kickball is still open for registration. We're hoping to get that kicked off next Thursday. And our 7-man comp league starts this Saturday. But we still have space for 2 teams, and you can be put on the week 2 schedule because we did have a bye for teams that are going to North Carolina. So if you're looking to get into our 7-man comp division and not go play over in Cobb like Georgia Raiders did, who turned their back on us, we have space available for you.
All right.
So we got a lot. That's about wrapping it up.
Good deal, man. Well, there it is, man. Everybody get ready for the final week of season 10. Looks like it's going to be exciting. Playoffs on the line for some. Some just hoping to come win their first games, and some trying to stay alive. So it should be real fun, man. So everybody, good luck to everybody this weekend. Stay safe, follow the rules, park we supposed to park, smoke in the car. With that being said, man, ATL Flag Football Podcast, man, and we out.